Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're taking on Karen today, and yeah, we're gonna try out this
I'll cut you down.
Felix team. It's been in the works. I don't exactly know.
Fine by me.
It's not 100% cohesive, I guess is the better word. There's some primarily where Uller is. I feel like she might not be the best unit for this team. I originally had well, I think, did I use this team before this week? I don't think so. I had dual Corn there, but the meta units or the meta save units are far too powerful for her to try to break through, so I figured I'd be better off bringing in a different unit. So that's why Uller's here, but I don't know, I feel like I might change that at some point. I'm still working on it. Ooh, that's perfect. Yeah, one of the biggest problems with this team is mobility and getting people in, because I only have one dancer.
I'll handle it.
So it's really hard for me to get my units to where they need to be. Luckily, so far, I haven't been coming across a lot of opponents that have their dual structure up. So that's great for me because I get to pop baby Goldleg's dual button. And also I get to warp in and take some damage here on Tenet, which is fantastic because it activates my Wings of Mercy on the units that actually use Wings of Mercy. That aside, what we're going to do here, that was...
Fine by
did
me.
I get any damage reduction from guard there? Or is that only enemy phase? I don't know. Because that was exactly 41. It said 41 and it did 41, but I'm supposed to have like a certain amount of damage reduction. So... weird. But anyways, I might give her Wings of Mercy Echo instead, because I mean, yeah, the damage, maybe it's only enemy phase damage reduction. I don't know. I should probably read that again. But yeah, Uller might be dropped from this team because mobility, so I might need a different bonus unit. Peony's also bonus, but I'm not counting on Peony to kill anything. She's really just here for her dual button. Yeah, them's the breaks. That aside, IS reverted the change, or at least the arena part of it, which, I mean, cool. I didn't expect them to change anything because they really didn't have to, but I guess they, like, from my perspective, the biggest part, or the biggest drawback to the change was what would happen re the 10 the 10 legendaries, and why they put a number on it. It made things kind of weird because we would have to then, you know, what would happen, like they didn't specify what would happen once they got to 10. Would they then go to 11, or would the one that was at 10 get removed or replaced with another version, or a newer version? So that was my biggest concern for it, because that seemed kind of, either you'd be creating the situation that you'd be recreating the situation that you just removed, which was a bunch of old legendaries, because you would go from 10 back to what, like 15, 20 really quickly, because they released legendary units really quickly. Or you'd be removing a new legendary. You'd just be replacing. You'd be creating a cycle where you'd just be always having 10, and that might not be the best thing, because the units that would eventually get removed won't, like, let's take Legendary Robin for instance. He's like, his biggest thing is his grand strategy. He might not hit hard, or he might start dying like really easy moving forward, but the grand strategy is such a big, like, I don't know how do I want to say it, mechanic, that I don't see that ever falling off. So you'd eventually be removing him from the 10 legendaries. Seems like a bit of a waste in terms of like power creep. So I don't know how they were going to deal with that, but yeah, we don't have to think about that anymore, since they basically said, oopsie, let's roll that back, and they've indeed rolled it back. So yeah, arena looks to be the same. They'll re-include the legendaries. Nah, I mean, it's whatever. Uller has this condition in her weapon that's supposed to remove the debuffs, but I don't see it, or at least I thought she did, but I'm not seeing it, so whatever, she's gonna get the kill here. But yeah, IS actually listens. That is quite rare. Not a lot of companies actually take feedback and do something about it. Looking at EA, for instance, one of the big reasons I stopped playing FIFA was because it was just getting more and more toxic every year. But great job, IS. That's it for this one. GG's. Alright, welcome to another day of Ather Raids. It's a big day. We're taking on a Japanese player here to get the match underway, but that is not why this is a big day. I mean, this is actually going to be a pretty big or challenging match. Very bulky defense here that we have in front of us. It's going to be pretty hard to break through these units. We all know how good evil guy is. I can't remember his name right now. Like, why can't I remember his name? It's so weird. And then we got Ather and Jimbro. It's a really strong combination of units. Mia is actually very, very good, especially since she's bonus now. She's very tanky. And then, you know, there's Felix, of course, who you just gotta watch out for. Luckily, there's no Celica rings or anything like that on the defense here, so all we gotta do is blow them up and then try to get through as best as possible. Ashnard, right? Max investment on the Ashnard here, a lot of stats. It's going to be doing quite a bit, but we do get the kill with Celica, so that's good to know. I'll keep that in my pocket for later, because what I'm planning to do is see if I can take out Felix first here. He is the biggest threat with that extra action. Hopefully they don't introduce that mechanic on any other units moving forward, or they'll probably give it a year. Like, what unit came out this year that they would do that to? I could see that being on a Sigurd. Oh my god. Imagine if that's what Sigurd's emblem ring does. Allows you to move again. Jesus Christ. Yikes. But yeah, we're gonna try to take out this Felix here, and then work our way through the rest of the teams. I couldn't have used any other team. I don't think I would have been able to beat this from melee range. I mean, AoEs are great, but I'd be stuck in a position where I would have to tank everything here with my Felix, which is not a good position to be in. I don't want to do that. They have better support on the team as opposed to what I have on my Felix team, which is really a Gale Force team.
Close your eyes.
So that would not have been a good matchup for me. I'm pretty sure that the trap under that Ashnard is real, so I'm probably going to just step on that just to get it out of the way, because that's really the only initiation point, because you're not taking out this Ashnard at melee range without an AoE. I don't think 60 defense. Yeah, definitely you need an AoE for that. Plus he's going to heal quite a bit, and he gets that first hit DR from Becky here, so no, it's not happening. Definitely got to do that at range.
I will do my best.
Yeah, so that being said, we're going to set up like this, break some stuff, and let's see if Celica can get... oh, she gets outsped. That's crazy. How is he faster than me? I know he has Excel. Guess that must be it, man. Felix is mad fast, eh? I have the Fury build here so that I can get chip damage on Celica, so that I can then Wings of Mercy in and do some stuff. But man, he is a lot stronger than I was a lot faster than I was anticipating.
I feel your
That's good to know. I'll keep that in mind for the future. So that leaves us with initiating on the trap, which I know is real. I could probably make that work because I do have my dual button here. A lot of people don't remember what this dual Sita's dual button does. Booba Sita. Booba Sita. Because of course there was that whole controversy of how did her boobs get so big. She got kaboomed. But yeah, still one of my favorite units. I really like her. Unfortunately, I just haven't gotten any merges on her. Definitely a unit that I would love to invest into, but she doesn't come home, so I mean, what can you do? But I love that effective against all thing. It's very good. We've seen that with the baby Sita. It's very good there, and it's very good here on her as well. So definitely going to take advantage of it. She works really well with the potent. The problem here is that Makai is going to debuff her stats, so not the greatest. The interesting thing about Makai that you'll see throughout this match is that the debuffs, because I have Excel on Sita, the debuffs don't really matter, but they still do get inhibited by Discord, which does play a big part in, because what Excel does is that it neutralizes penalties to my attack and speed. It's a 50, okay, whatever. But yeah, it neutralizes the penalties to your attack and speed, but Discord gives you in-combat debuffs based off the debuffs, based off the number of people that are around. So it's an interesting mix of effects that... Oh, I can get this now. How come?
Ready to help.
I think this is too good to not take. And I do have a way out with my duo button, so I think I'm probably going to take that. I think what was happening there is that I was moving the maximum number of spaces with which activates his double XL, because he has Excel, not Excel, he has Excel and then he has Clash. So he gets a ton of speed because of the number of spaces that I was warping. But since I'm only moving 2 spaces here, I guess... But doesn't warping mean that you still get the full activation, or no? Or am I thinking about something else? I could be thinking about something else, but yeah, we're definitely going to take that. I'm going to pop my dual skill to get Plumeria out of the way, because there is +1 movement from Mia, who has that Rain Snap skill, which I am just coming around to. It's very, very good. A lot better than being able to warp. In terms of comparison, if you have a choice between warping and getting +1 movement, always take +1 movement, because the only thing that stops warping is stall, and stall is so underrepresented in this game. I think to this day, it's really only on Dual Thor, who I guess is a big deal, Reeve, and one other unit. The unit that it originally came out on was Pirate Tibarn, and no one uses that unit. I'm pretty sure that everyone's forgotten that stall is actually a C skill, because it just does nothing. But there's tons of room for improvement on that. So I guess in the future, especially since we have so many calves now that have +1 movement, not only calves, but like just units in the game, like your Grin, passing that out all around the place, I'm pretty sure they'll probably pick a opportune time to upgrade that skill and just make it so that we regret adding the +1 movement to our units. But currently, +1 movement is definitely where it's at. You really want to get that, but it's to be expected. We're gonna just blow up Ashnard here, since I can't do anything about Becky. Yeah, we're gonna blow up Ashnard. I think we're gonna have to save Becky for last somehow, because the Aegis with her weapon effect, the combination, plus the fact that she's bonus, I don't think we're going to be able to get through her. So yeah, we're going to target Ashnard, and then looking at the layout here, pretty sure that Jimbro is probably going to reposition and then move, so I'm going to have to get out of the way.
Ready to help.
If I do that, how do I... And also, I'm not sure which one of these 2 gravity traps is real, so I'm going to avoid those. The placement for these 2 gravity traps is actually pretty genius, because it's placed so that the enemy team can chase down, and then for you to be able to attack from either of those spaces, it's a bit of a gamble. So that's actually genius in terms of how he's placed them. GG's on him, because there's really no way for me to tell which one of those is real in terms of just guessing. I don't want to pull a guess on that one. So yeah, get out of the way and then figure out the rest from there. I was saying, tons of stuff happening today. We got the trailer. I saw the trailer.
By your side.
Niffles boobs. That's about all I want to say. Like, what is that? Like, yeah. Okay, and what else? Fjorm. Fjorm wins again. Fjorm is just... She stays win. I was literally just starting to like reuse my Fjorm, and I was like, the only thing she's really weak to is brave attacks. That was like the primary reason that I had to bench her, because of Veronica, Legendary Veronica plus Gatria. Destroyed, literally destroyed Fjorm, so I had to bench her because of that. But we got a new fighter skill. Finally, I was like, oh my god, when are they going to release a new fighter skill? They've actually given us quite a few this year. When was that was last year. I was thinking about Baby Hector. I think that was last year, if I'm not mistaken. But they've actually given us a few fighter skills this year. Amelia and now Fjorm, and I'm pretty sure there's the other variant of Canny Fighter, I think it was. That was on Mir. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was another one. But yeah, they finally have provided us with a fighter skill that actually does something. Or that is actually an upgrade to what was available. I heard Rakigal say something that was actually pretty insightful. I was like, she was like, all of these upgrades to these fighter skills, but still nothing to Bold Fighter. And she's right. They've done literally nothing with Bold Fighter. It's really more of a player phase armor skill. So I'm interested to see what they do with that. If they do, I would think they probably want to put it on an Edelgard, because that just makes a ton of sense. But Edelgard typically gets a preference B skill, so would you really put that Bold Fighter on, aside from maybe the unit that it came out on, which was Zelgius? So I could be wrong. Maybe it was Fallen. He's on a horse. Hirid. Oh, it's an H. Hirid. No, Harden. Yeah, Fallen Harden. If memory serves, I think it. Well, no, it was way before that actually. Going back to probably the one of the Christmas banners, I think on Tharja, if I'm mistaken. But I don't see why they would put it on ranged armor at this point. It just doesn't seem like the right skill. Oh my god, this Mia is disgusting. And I'm debuffed too. Whoa, okay. Debuffs really do. Makaya is really putting in a ton of work here. Because the majority of my skills scale off my attack. I'm probably going to have to put this down to Leon here to get some work in. I guess I could probably lock down that lane since they're in a line. That works out perfect for me actually. So I'm probably going to do that. And it also saves me a turn. That is definitely the best course of action. I think we attack Jimbro here. Yeah, because that will splash the shutdown to Mia. Okay. Alright, cool. Yeah, so yeah, really wondering what they're going to do with Bold Fighter in the future as a tier 4 version. They're probably going to switch it up quite a bit. Maybe that will be the B skill that gives armors like a follow-up, like a potent follow-up that gives them a third attack.
By your side.
Don't see why they would need that, but I think it would be great on a range. That would be great on a range armor. So, but they would also have to put some type of defensive aspect to it, or maybe just potent in both phases. That would make sense. I kind of like that. Like combination with, let's say, curve shot. That would make a ton of sense, because then it could be both defensive and offensive in terms of how it works. Yeah, I like that idea. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, Fjorm is an armored unit. Here to break the game again, just like her Ascended version. I'm surprised that they didn't choose a different... It didn't have to be Fjorm. It could have been a... I'm sure they had a ton of different options, just like for armored units. But because Ice Mirror is specifically designed for Fjorm, you notice that they tend to do that ever so often. Like if a unit has like a specific skill, same thing with Mir, Gatekeeper. That's why no one else really has the warp bubble effects. Sigurd with a +1 movement. Well, that's kind of power grip these
We
days,
mustn't get
but
lost.
that was really more of a Cav thing. But the
You're
ability to
all right.
pass it off to everyone, Sigurd is really the only one that does that. We've just now gotten another unit that has the ability to pass
To a
off
golden
triangle
center.
attack, and that was because she was in the duo that originally gave it out, which is great. I'm actually going to pick up that Thea because I don't have Binding Blades is one of my most underrepresented games, so I definitely need copies of units from that game. So I'm going to pick her up. Oh, we're going to take this skill because I don't know how else I'm going to get him off the map. I should have actually canceled
We
up
mustn't
with
get
Leon
lost.
now that I'm looking at it, because if I could have shut down him as well from where I was. That was a mistake on my part. But we got the kill, so we're going to do that. We're going to take out Jinbro here.
Yes,
And then we have enough turns to keep going.
we mustn't get lost.
Yeah. I think here is probably best. Yeah. What was I saying?
Careful not to burn.
What was I talking about? Thea. Triangle attack. Yeah. Definitely think she's a good addition to
Breathe deep.
Binding Blades roster because there really are no units from that game. She's not really there to like play the tanky. I don't know. Maybe I'll build her like that because I don't have
I feel your gaze.
again units from that game. I
Ready
guess
to help.
you know there's Roy and like Idun, but I don't have a ton of
Eyes on the
investment in my
battle.
Iduns. I keep planning on doing it, but then I don't. So hopefully I get something from Binding Rose eventually. And then Roy is like non-existent until he gets his emblem version. I'm pretty sure he will get a really good emblem version, so I'll just wait on that before I'm not going to build any other Roys. That wouldn't benefit me. We're going to see if we can get a kill here on Attune Makaya with Sita because
I feel your gaze.
bonus unit, and I need the bonus kill. That's that flat 20% damage
will be
reduction
fine.
there,
Ready
plus
to
the
help.
damage reduction that she already has. And one of Sita's biggest problems is that she can't trigger a special. That's definitely something that she needs. Something that would ramp her into a special. Kind of like Creation Pulse for Cavs, but I don't think they're going to do that anytime soon. But yeah, definitely think I'm going to build that, try to get some copies of Thea. I'm going to pull a ton on that banner. I still want to pull some more
Ready to help.
on the Brave banner because I want a couple more copies of, what's her face? Bernie. Because she has Potent, and I really love Potent.
I can hardly
I was
wait.
again I was recently making the comparison between Potent and Gambit, and I still think they're really close. But there's some units that just can't run Gambit, be it because of how their specials
I
work,
have
or
faith.
you just can't fit a fork. Like it doesn't. It's really more special related because of how the specials would be equipped that they wouldn't be able to run Gambit. So. Potent would really be the next best thing, so that's really what I'm thinking. I want to get some more copies of Potent before I close off on that banner because I don't have units to really pass that around, so I have to like fodder Bernie, which is really sad. I foddered at least 3. I could have had a +5 or 6 Bernie already.
on the battle.
She's only +1, and then I don't think I need attack speed Excel, but I do think it would be great on Thea for what she does. I think that would actually be a really good combination with Wyvern Pegasus Rift, I think it's called. I think that would be a really good
Close your
combination on
eyes.
her. PM1, I don't remember who was saying, maybe it was Tacho. Ear Orders is kind of not the greatest. You probably want to give her a snap skill, a range skill. And I
I feel
agree.
your gaze.
Definitely think that would be the better addition in terms of making her a support unit. But if you're going to fodder Excel from
Ever onward.
Felix, it's probably good to give Felix's Tempest skill as well, which I think is actually fantastic on melee flyers. I would love to put it on my Pala as well, Valentian Pala, but I really feel like she would prefer Deadly Miasma, just to create some turn effects. Or maybe even, I don't know. We'll figure that out down the line. But I think that build would be a great build for Thea. Excel plus just fodder Felix there, and she'd be really good. Fjorm, definitely think she's now the best far save in the game. This new version of her, there's no competing. No one is going to be better than her for, well, I don't know for how long, because armors have been lasting really long recently. Even dual Byleth is still usable under certain conditions. Well, he's usable. I wouldn't even say under certain conditions. He's just usable. Like, what other armors came out? I guess you'd have to go back all the way to Baby Hector to find an armor that's bad. And Baby Hector came out last year. It's not bad, he's just not usable as a far save anymore. You can probably, like, with this new, one of the things that I wanted to see, and I'm waiting for the,
Eyes on the battle.
what do you call that thing where you got the weapon effects and all of that? Data mines to see if that B skill is inheritable to melee or for melees to use with defensive specials like Pavis. If so, then Baby Hector is very much back in the runnings for being a save again. Even just regular Hector is back in terms of just being a good save again, because that B skill is fantastic, like really, really good. And I think it would be a huge boost to most near saves. Because of the fact that one of the biggest problems with Hardy Fighter is that you can't trigger it on turn 1, and this new B skill actually resolves that problem for saves and it just makes them viable again. So I was going to have to run Gatry as my save unit for Dark Season, but I didn't want to re-bless him. But now I don't have to worry about that. I can pick any other armored unit and actually just give that to them. So I'm excited to build out some of my other units. And see how that works. Yeah, I'm really thinking about Brave Hector, actually, to see how he performs with it. So I definitely need at least 4 copies of Fjorm. I think a +1 would be great, and then another one to fodder, and then another one to fodder. So that's 2 to fodder. I really need more than 2 to fodder, because I have a few units that I would love to see how they perform with that skill. So yeah, definitely would love a ton of Fjorms. I'm looking at
I can hardly wait. Ever onward.
Florisha, Flora, whichever one that has that dragon effectiveness neutralization. I'm looking at her and I'm like trying to figure out how I could make that useful aside from using Myrrh, but I don't really have a place for her on defense. She doesn't look like she hits hard enough to make that work. Probably like a good unit for summoner duels, but I don't know, aside of that, I don't really see what I would do with her. I mean, the Null Sea Disrupt is pretty clutch. If it is usable by, like, everyone, I don't know yet. It didn't really specify. But then, since it didn't specify, then I guess there's no reason to think that it isn't. But we'll get the restrictions in a bit. The data mines will be out, and we'll be able to confirm exactly what's going on. But
you can do it.
Fjorm, hands down, best save in the game. I'm definitely going to be pulling for her. I really want a bunch of copies. Someone actually pointed out that we only have 1 rearmed save unit, and that's rearmed Grima, and I didn't even notice, and I think they've done that on purpose. Joel also pointed out that we've only got like 7 armored units, and I only remember 2, which is Myrrh and Amelia. But then just thinking about it, I think we got Ephraim too, and I don't know who else. Probably a D-mode. I literally can't remember who else this year, but yeah.
I will do my best.
Oh my god, these units are so hard to kill. I really want to save Micaiah for Sita, because I don't think Sita will be able to take out Becky, so I'm gonna try to save that for later. But we need to get rid of Mia and also move around here. Alright. While I do that, yeah. Who else is on the banner? The dagger looks pretty cool, but I mean, dagger units are in a really bad spot. I think the only good thing about dagger units right now is that they have access to pulse smoke, or what is it called? The new smoke skill. It's pulse smog, something like that. Yeah, I think that's the only good thing about dagger units currently. And that's not even like that great. It doesn't have like a lull in it or anything. It's just, yeah, it's not great. It's really not great. They need a quicker way to access lethality. I guess you could run like your dagger units with Creation Pulse, but it's so like hit or miss if you're gonna be able to get that to trigger. And that's still just +2 at the most. Most dagger units have Slaying. You would still need one more special cooldown from somewhere else if you want to pre-charge lethality, which is really what you want. Like Claude, Wind Tribe Claude is really the only good dagger unit, like in my opinion. All the other, and he's like not even that great. All the others are like so far behind in terms of just what they're capable of doing in the game. I mean, I really love Ascended Joshua personally. He doesn't want to come home, but I still like really like the unit. But he's hard to use. I mean, he has true damage in his weapon, but he's still like not easy to use. You have to put a lot of effort into making him work properly. Whereas Wind Tribe Claude just hits the lethality and he gets going, and that is actually really like everyone knew how good that was when he came out, and it's still really good. It's just that there's so many scowl effects, and red is really strong. It's so peculiar that Nurgle is able to get kills that Claude isn't.
Eyes on the battle.
But we're in such a high defense meta that lethality just seems like it isn't hit. Like magic units do more damage than physical hitting units, and that's quite unfortunate where the current state of the game is. I don't know how I'm gonna kill these two units and also get the pots. I only have one turn left. I have to be really careful with how I plan this out.
By your side. Let us see.
I think we do this, which is really what I wanted to do: get her away from her support team. Or from her support units. So it's great that we can probably try to take her down a bit. Taking out the healing tower is because I'm doing like no damage. So taking out the healing tower is really the right thing to do. If she was full health, this would have been so much harder. I'm gonna do a dance here and then try to either go in again or wait until next turn. Plumeria is also bonus, but Plumeria isn't going to be killing. Well, no, I'm wrong. Plumeria is not bonus. She's in the version with Peony. Duo Peony is bonus, but she's on another team. But yeah, weapon refines for CYL are coming out in a little bit, and I'm going to...
I will do my best.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I double tapped. Oh, I ended my turn before attacking. I actually wanted to do a damage check there, and then... Alright, let's see. Can I get them out?
Into the surf. Ready to help.
Reposition.
This will be fun.
Okay. I'll need to get either Golfeg or Celica down there.
We mustn't get lost.
It's such a good thing that I have reposition on all my units. I'm definitely a repo boy. Not that I don't use the other skills, but reposition is truly the best.
I feel your gaze.
I definitely think we can make this work. This. I also want to consider that I need to get the pot next turn, so that's going to be at least one action wasted. So I definitely need to be careful about how I position my units here, because it means that only one of my units will have access to Micaiah. She will come down, but Sita, who needs to kill Micaiah, will be a little bit too far. So, alright. Let's see. What do we do here? What do we do?
Ready to help.
11. That's actually really good. Because considering the fact that she has Aegis up, 11, bringing her down to 11 is actually really good.
Eyes on the battle. Into the sun.
Okay, so we can take out Micaiah and get the pot. but I need Sita to be able to be the one to take out Makai because I need that bonus kill.
We're missing it lost.
Worst case scenario, I think I can miss both of these pots and still be okay because we get you score so high in Chaos Season that I think I can miss at least 2 pots, but it would only have, like, I couldn't do another match missing pots. It's a little bit early to do that as well.
Ever onward.
You know what I realized? That
Side.
they were actually testing the lift increase in Chaos Season before they rolled it out to the regular season, because I think that they knew that a lot of people missed days of Ether raids, and then they would lose the ability to score higher.
I feel your gaze.
And I think they wanted to fix that, so they were kind of like testing it out with giving us the ability to score the maximum amount in Chaos Season before they rolled it out to regular Ether raids. This is just speculation. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but it seems like something that IS would do. And I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. It seems like the best way to test out a change like that. Also, Chaos Season is actually like a really good testing ground because you don't lose blessings, and it puts like everyone on an even playing field, so you can actually test out a bunch of units. Ooh, 5. Okay, all right. This looks like it's gonna work out. I think what's happening here is that I'm getting hit with the Discord and the panic and all of that Makai is doing. So I think if I move some units out of the way, I should be able to get this kill on Ather with Celica, who is usually not able to take her out. So that is actually fantastic. This is going to work out perfectly from here, I think. We should be good to go.
I can hardly wait.
One of the things that I was actually thinking about, I think we got this from here actually. But one of the things I was also thinking about was the fact that with this new Fjorm and not even Fjorm, with this new party fighter or side grade party fighter, whatever you want to call it, essentially it means that how are you going to win on defense? How are you supposed to break through on offense? Like, how are you going to kill these tanks now? Because nothing will die. Because the Hardy Fighter the new skill, B skill, basically procs itself. It loops its own special. So how are we as the offensive players supposed to break through that? Because Hardy Fighter was already I was surprised that they put out an upgrade to Hardy Fighter so soon. But then I was anticipating it because they released Embla into the regular pool. So I knew that they were going to make armors like really strong to make the usage of Embla relevant or mean something. So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen from here on in terms of like how people are going to approach defenses now, because it's going to be a lot tougher. Going on turn 1 might not even matter anymore. We'll see what happens from here. Another successful match. This one was really tough. GG's my opponent. You put together a really tough defense. See you in the next one.